I come out here for a little bit, and what I'm going to do is take these axle plates. I'm going to heat them up. I'm going to stick them in a vise, heat them up with a torch, and try to get them soft enough, hot enough, soft enough so I can bend them over. This is 1/8" steel plate. There's no way I'm going to be able to bend that with it cold. I'd probably end up breaking it if I do anything. So I'm going to heat them up, get them good, soft, and malleable. I'm going to try to do that. I hope that works. So we'll see, huh? Well, there's one. That worked out good. Now I'm going to take my Dremel tool and clean up that slot just so it doesn't look so yucky. Now I'm going to do the other one. And yeah. Good deal. See how it hangs up in there a little bit? Right there. A couple little spots like that. So, I've got this, see if I can get it in the camera here. There you go. I got that kind of a fitting on there. And it just eats away at that old metal, boy. Pretty. Yeah. So I took my axle brackets and I re-drilled the holes in them to make them closer to the plate itself so they would slide back and forth nice, and it's flush. I think you can see that. And I also cut some of that off because I was thinking if I turn those to the inside like such, it'll just give it a lot cleaner a look from the outside. See what I mean? I mean, from the back it's still going to look like the same deal, but that'll just give it a lot cleaner a look as opposed to having, you know, seeing all this. See what I mean? You can see the difference, right? So I went in the house and got the sprocket and brought out here just to double check and make sure I got clearance. Can't see what you guys are seeing. There we go. And it looks like it's going to be fine. Now you Dizzy, correct me if I'm wrong, but the short spacer goes on the side of the sprocket, right? In order to keep things centered. And the long spacer goes on the other side. I've been out here refiguring things, and it came to my attention that my swing arm legs were not long enough, and the angle of my axle plates is wrong. So I've been refiguring that stuff, and let me show you what I've been doing. So I got this big piece of cardboard out here, and I decided to draw it out in actual size so I can get true dimensions and actually have a better chance at visualizing it. Let me get over here to where you can see my drawing. Alright, this is the template I use for my axle plate, and I use this for where the swing arm frame will be, sitting 9 inches off the ground is the way I figure it, because that tire is 20 inches tall, which makes the center of it 10 inches. So I drew an outline where the tire will be, and I want to have 2.5 inches of clearance. That way I have room for a fender and just a little bit of clearance there. And I also want my seat to sit at approximately 25 inches off the deck, and it's got 5 inches springs. So I had to calculate where my frame would be in accordance to that. And I've been toying with different angles. The way I have it set up now, my angle is like that, which would put my seat way up higher than I want it to be. And so I looked at 45 degrees, which is just off a little bit from what I had. And yeah, just still not happy with that. It just, so I did some figuring and looking and thinking, and I came up with 30 degrees. And I think that's what I'm going to go with. So I'm going to have to cut my axle plates and redress them. So I'm going to weld that on there. And this will give me the correct angle going up toward my neck and the backbone to where my seat will have the 5 inches of travel. This is 20 inches here. But anyway, that's what I'm doing right now. And trying to sort that all out. Sorry. Yeah, trying to sort that all out. So I like that angle. Otherwise, it's going to have to, the swing arm will go up and then have to level out, which would be okay. I'm just trying to figure it all out before I actually do it. I'm kind of going for that rigid frame look, you know, to where it's kind of got that, looks like a 45 or a 40 degree angle all the way down from the neck to the tail. And I'm just trying to visualize it before I bend any more steel, cut any more steel, or do anything else. I want to make sure that my measurements are right and my, you know, got all my P's and Q's together. Speaking of P's and Q's, do you know where that came from? P's and Q's was originated back in the pubs of, I think, Ireland. And it stood for pints and quarts. You know, they say, let's go to that pub and have a pint. Well, a quart would be a big mug. P's and Q's. Get your P's and Q's in order. Pints and quarts. Alright, anyway. I'm going to get back to this figured out, and then I'll share with you what we're doing. But anyway, you get the idea. We're going to cut that axle plate. We're going to change that angle. And then, also, let me show you this. This swing arm thing, as you know, I've been trying to build it just straight rectangle, U-shape. And what I've decided to do is contour the edges out, because there's going to be a kickstand, or the Kickstarter is going to be coming down, and I want to make sure I got just every little bit of extra clearance I can there. So I'm going to cut those angles off. So I'm going to have a 45 here and a 45 there, here and here, instead of a 90 there and a 90 there. I'm still going to make good 90s with that bender, because I'm not going to be satisfied until I can make good 90s with the bender. But I'm going to do 45s on here and here and here, here and here. So, yeah, that's a little change that I'm doing to the thing. And we'll get that all sorted out too. So, that's what I'm up to. I'm working on it. And I just got to make sure I got it right, you know. Measure twice, cut once, that kind of thing. Alright, so I'll let you know when I get more done. Alright? Alright, thanks. Thanks for being patient with me. Alright. Alright, so the 30-degree angle is correct. I don't know when I made that little lasso clip. Right here is where my 3-inch clearance is going to be. And from there straight up to the 30-degree angle from the frame is 11 inches. Plus 9 inches to the ground is 20 inches. 5-inch springs is 25 inches, which puts my seat right where I want it. I knew that was right when I set it all up. So anyway, that's what I'm going with. And that'll give me my angle right up to my neck, real close to what I want. And yeah. So I'm going to cut those axle plates at 30 degrees. And then start rebending my swing arms, because this area right here, I had measured it at 15 inches, but I failed to remember the 3 inches for this, which offsets that axle even closer, which would have had my tire rubbing on the front part. You know what I mean? It would have had my tire rubbing up here. which is unacceptable. We can't be having that. We need some clearance there. Alright, there they are. I've cut my axle plates off again, cleaned them up. That's that 30-degree angle I was telling you about. So I guess I've sealed my fate. Carved in stone, if you will. Cut in metal, even. So anyway, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a 30-degree angle instead of 50 or whatever that was I had originally. Alright, so now it's time to cut some steel and start playing with the bender again. That'll be great. Alright.
Well, they look at you, no lie. They take it all and they say goodbye. Well, they don't care about the poor or the sight.